So going over this warm-up, first thing, I need to make sure you defined the parameter correctly in present tense. So listen up, because this could have been very tempting. So P is the proportion of the statistic professor's students that are registered to vote. Make sure that it is present tense, not past tense. Okay. Who can vote is fine. Needs to be something that is present tense. Correct. As long as you did not use past tense like were, if you didn't use were, then you're good to go. Here are all your numbers that you filled in. Okay, there's your critical value that you had gotten. So your interval, I think most everybody as I was going around was fine and went from 0.57 to 0.83. So I am 95% confident that the true proportion of the statistics professor's students that are registered to vote is between 57% and 83%. So look over here at your numbers on the side. Okay, number 2 says, according to a national estimate, it's estimated at 73%. So it's asking you, what do you think about the reasonableness of the national estimate? And the key that you're looking at is to see if it's in the estimate that you got. And so it is reasonable because 73% is in the confidence interval that we got. So make sure you give a reason. It says for you to explain, and if you do not explain, then you will not get it correct. It is reasonable because it is in the interval. All right, now, the next one. If your sample size goes up, that is making your standard deviation go down, so your interval becomes smaller. Okay, number 4, you had to read the wording carefully. Because the wording, you might have just looked at the problem and saw, oh, 90% first and 95% second, so I think the confidence went up. But that's not what it said. It says, the professor chose to create a 90% confidence level instead of 95. So he went down from, or she went down from 95% wide to then being 90% wide. If you are only 90% wide instead of 95% wide, you are less wide. So you are narrower. So read careful about which direction the problem says to go. Yes. Decrease is fine. Yes, decrease. All right, number 5. I recommend that for these problems, you draw yourself a picture like I did over here, where I have the bottom value and the top value. To get the center, remember your key to get the center is to add the bottom and the top. So 0.20 plus 0.40, then divide it by 2, and that will get you the center. So P hat equals 0.30. Then or you just know the number line, and use your common sense there. So then the next one, the margin of error is this one little whisker. One whisker is the margin of error. So you can, half of the entire interval. All right, now to C. Again, this one says the sample size went up. So if N goes up, then the interval goes down. So decreases, gets narrower. D says that we are going to change the confidence level. We are going to go from 90% up to 95. So we're going to get more confident. We're going to make the interval, instead of 90% wide, we're going to make it 95% wide. So if it's not wider, then it's going to increase. And here's this last one. The administration thinks that the proportion of AH students that think the Bearcat is ferocious is 50%. But do you think that's true? Based on your interval of your results, you think it's between 20 and 40. So their estimate is probably wrong and probably even too high. I think their estimate is wrong and too high because my interval is from 20 to 40. And it's completely below their estimate or their claim. All right. So So let's go ahead and have you put everything away. I will leave you this page only.